surrender is the understanding of a person, meaning a personal understanding of why actually it needs to join itself to a group. Okay, so this article speaks about how the definition in a person, meaning understanding the difference of between prayer and true, or what he was doing so far, even if he's not if his identity even does not suggest to himself that he is religious. But there's no person in the world that does not wake up in the morning and has a sort of a spontaneous request or prayer. One can say prayer. Let it be a good day, so I will earn my keep, so that my children will be fine. That all the needs of surviving or existing. It happens naturally, and somehow people try to tie it into a sort of a formula of prayer, as though the prayer is about that. Whatever. So actually,
but the true prayer is supposed to be moda'ani.
A true prayer is not only to be grateful in terms of a consciousness about what gave you life, is for what life was given to you.
Yes, but I think that's what that prayer does, exactly.
Yeah, that's true prayer. So what this article defines is what for, and not the fact that a person needs something, trust or no trust. He would call it higher power, he would call it luck, he would call it self-persuasion, positive thinking. All this, it's a whole spectrum of what people would call prayer, which does not count as a prayer.
Right. I'm there.
Okay. So now he's saying, first, in order to understand what is a true prayer, we need to go into understanding creation, into understanding what was created and how human consciousness should grow above it. Okay, grow above it, and it's quite clear that it cannot grow above it unless there are conditions that first he would see that nature and everything that was given to him is enough to sustain him, but there is something else that is required from him that he cannot actually fulfill with his usual needs and requests. Okay, and what he called so far prayer. Now, but the condition to actually fulfill it, and the way, or I would say the mean to be able to grow above yourself, means that you're going to pray with others for their needs, meaning for their spirit needs. Okay, so the group and minyan act as a reminder that you cannot sort of ask for yourself. And they come, and each one, and this is actually the meaning of surrender, one of the aspects of surrender, that when we come together into a study and we open it actually with a prayer, we need to remind ourselves that this is not to fulfill our needs, that something sort of formed us as a group or minyan in order to be able to remember to grow above ourselves. So this is the platform in which you can actually, in actuality, think, aim, intend for real prayer. This is why you can say all the blessings that are to do with the dawn blessing are actually preparation for coming together. And then the only time that you actually can can speak about prayer when you say Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, it's because you're in Minyan.
Just thinking about that.
Okay, it's not my private lips.
Right.
Because at that moment, you say everything that preceded this article is happening, meaning Thanksgiving, Muda, preparing oneself in order to be able to join the fact that I'm praying above nature. Mm-hmm. And that starts it means that the condition is in the prayer, in the synagogue, in Minyan, that we are coming to say, and when we say Adonai, we say actually Malchut as Shechina. Malchut as Shechina means that I fulfilled the condition of coming together with other intentions in order to create a possible vessel to pray at all. Because this at least suggests that I made the effort to understand that I'm coming into something that is above what is, or the nature of the will to receive to oneself. If I need the power of it, I need the presence of divinity to open, which means coming together not for one person. With this can open my lips. So it ties to it. But let's say the spotlight in this article is what should be the intention of a group when they pray. Mm-hmm. So how each individual can need to fulfill the first condition, which is to find others of the same intention. And when he finds what actually defines the in him, the ability to actually see that it is not for a personal vessel which has no use for the purpose of creation. So the individual has a use as an aspect, it can be even a very important part, but within a system, within a net, not by himself. By himself, it suggests already that he did not depart from the will to receive to oneself. And he does not even find himself wanting in that area. He's saying, well, what I'm saying, I'm taking the prayer book, or I'm sitting into a meditation by myself, and that is enough. No, this is not enough. This is not even beginning of the ability to be part of something. This is why Torah is being given to a nation, not even to the patriarch as in person. Mm-hmm. Okay? That they would say that personally they felt Torah and they fulfill it, but it's not. It did not become an actuality for the world. It becomes an actuality or a possibility for the world only when it was given to a group. To a group that found themselves in need. And this is why it is called, this is why the location of the legs, one can say, the bottom of Mount Sinai is one can say the depth of unity, of need that Israel faced at that moment. But it's a union of needs. They could see that it's not a question of each one who would survive the desert, who would survive the immigration. Okay. It became what actually are our purpose as a group beyond our survival, beyond our getting into the promised land, fulfilling the promise that was given to our patriarchs and matriarchs. So then the condition starts. One can say that before that they were not even able to pray.
Mm.
They did not have
Sure.
the vessel, the tool. It was sort of muted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So only when they become a group which agree to, one can say, the meta agreement, maybe not conscious but subconscious or higher consciousness of getting out of Egypt, is understanding of a mutual fate. So the mutuality of the experience and the understanding that they are going to be in service, that created a true need how to keep that union, and how to keep that union as a nation is because they wanted to fulfill the covenant, to be able to fulfill the covenant. So this is actually why the precept of love the other as thyself, or love thy friend as thyself, precedes love your God.
Mm.
It's a condition.
Yeah, I understand
It's
that.
a condition, yeah.